All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the stream. This is the regular season finale for winter 2025 WIHSEA Rocket League. I am your fellow WIHSEA commentator, Andrew Chish Jr. Pleased to be joining you once again to break down all of the action we'll have today in our Division 2 doubleheader to determine the top 6 seeds in that respective division ahead of the playoffs, get a general idea of where we could be at. Obviously, there's a lot of variables to take into account, like percentages for wins, head-to-head records, common wins against opponents, fewest losses against opponents, stuff like that that's been discussed in other channels across the league. But we are here today to see our doubleheader, which will be St. Croix taking on Grafton at 3:45, and Fort Washington taking on Whitefish Bay at 4:45. So without further ado, let's get into the team notes for our first game of the regular season finale doubleheader. It will be Grafton and St. Croix. So first, looking at Grafton, their starting lineup consists of Penguin, Champion 3, Far Nebula, Champion 2, and Kevin, a Diamond 2. Winter 2025 season statistics for the Blackhawks. They're 9-2 overall, 28-8 game record. If you crunch that down to a percentage for Grafton, that would be a 78% game win percentage, or as you know, the league spot term is round wins. I like to call it game wins. That's what we used to go by. They currently hold the 6th spot in the Division 2 rankings, but it gets a little complicated because they're in a 3-way tie with Port Washington and Whitefish Bay for most total points. In league spot, that factors in, forfeited matches won, matches played and won, and also buys as well. If you get a buy, you have a point as well. So a little bit of a technicality with the league spot website, but that is okay. Regular season statistics for Grafton: Week 1, matches 1 and 2, win against New London, and a loss against Fox Valley 3-0. Week 2, matches 1 and 2. They did not have a match 2. They had a match 1 though. They defeated Two Rivers 3-0. Week 3, a huge win against Whitefish Bay in a close series, 3-2, and a win against West Salem. That head-to-head will be a key component in Grafton potentially moving up seeds in Division 2 if they were to win and if Whitefish Bay were to lose today. But that Whitefish Bay has a triple header on their hands, so things get even more complicated. Week 4, Grafton had a win against MSL 3-0. It's a big head-to-head tiebreaker as well. Loss against Martin Luther 3-1. Impressive that they took a game off of Martin Luther, one of the best teams in Division 2. So commendable effort there. Week 5, wins against Beloit Turner and Waterford. Week 6, wins against Sauk Prairie and Wisconsin Luther. Grafton's WIHSEA accolade. The Blackhawks are on stream for the first time since their spring 2023 Division 2 Valorant Championship win against the Seymour Thunder. They won 2-0 on maps on June 3rd, 2023 at the Carthage Esports Arena. I know that day we had a lot of technical issues and the stream went on for a long while, so that's why we had to move it over to the Carthage stream as opposed to having it on the regular WIHSEA channel. Grafton also 2024 Fortnite runner-ups as well. Grafton Blackhawks fun facts. School size of approximately 700 to 720 students, 16 to 1 student-teacher ratio. Mission and vision statements prepare students to be lifelong learners and responsible citizens, provide opportunities for all students to be active and involved. And sporting accolades. They participate in the North Shore Conference football team. They are 2-time state champions in 1981 and 1982. Runner-ups in 2023. The girls basketball team, 2 state championship appearances in 91-93. A little bit of history around Grafton's athletics. Moving on, we have the St. Croix Central Panthers. Starting lineup includes Dalo, their captain, a grand champion 1. JMSN, a champion 2. A champion 2 as well. Winter 2024 for St. Croix. They made it all the way to the grand final where they lost to Fox Valley. And in that playoff run, they did earn the 6th seed. They defeated teams such as Jefferson DeForest and Martin Luther as well. So an impressive playoff run. It's just that Fox Valley was a little bit too good for them. But it was really their first exposure to Fox Valley in Rocket League. So with that added experience, they nearly beat them in Week 5 3-2. So for regular season, they are 10-1 overall, 32-4 game record. Currently hold second place in the Division 2 rankings, but again, they're tied with both Fox Valley and Martin Luther based on league spot points. Week 1 wins against Jefferson and Ripon. Week 2 wins against Freedom and Ashland. Week 3 wins against East Troy and Vincent. Week 4, a big win against Port Washington. A win against Wilmot. Week 5, win against New London. A loss against Fox Valley that was featured on the stream. It was a tremendous 5-game series that came down to the absolute wire. The last few seconds, Dallo trying to set up a play to his teammates over the middle of the field. Nobody in the net for Fox Valley. And then, unfortunately, it just could not keep the ball up, and it just dropped at the last possible second when St. Croix could have really tied the game up. And who knows, maybe we could be talking about an overtime finish where St. Croix wins. That's all in the hypotheticals as of right now. Week 6 matches 1 and 2. St. Croix had a Week 6 bye and a win against Two Rivers. And a couple fun facts about St. Croix. School size approximately 491 students and a 15-to-1 student-teacher ratio. Mission and vision statements prepare students with skills, knowledge, and character to thrive in a changing world and to be a model of excellence in student achievement that others respect. And with those notes out of the way, we should have a fantastic matchup here between Grafton and St. Croix. Grafton obviously trying to play for higher seeding, and they have a great chance to do so with a win, and they just have to hope that Whitefish Bay, possibly loses 1 or 2 of their games to better their chances of getting into that 5th seed spot. But we'll see, as Whitefish Bay has a triple header on their hands later on today. So that is all for the notes on Grafton and St. Croix. Real quick, I wanted to show a little package I put together of the top 6 teams in Winter 2025 RL Division 2. So number 6 is Grafton. Again, overall record 9-2, 28-8. The notable wins against Whitefish Bay, MSL. Notable losses against Fox Valley and Martin Luther. The remaining schedule today, obviously we're going to see their St. Croix game in a matter of minutes. And we are going to see what they're going to do against Jefferson later on today. Keep the video playing. So number 5, Whitefish Bay, 9-1 overall record, 29-5 game record. Notable win against MSL that was featured on stream. A great series where, it just came down to Whitefish Bay, just calming their nerves, staying poised, and, attacking MSL's defense that was not terrific towards the end of that series. Notable loss again against Grafton. Their triple header today, they go against White Turner at 3:45, Port Washington 4:45, which we'll see on stream, and then they play against Martin Luther later on at 5:45. And then we got Port Washington, number 4, overall record 10-2, 31-7, round win record, 85%. Notable wins against MSL and Wisconsin Lutheran. Notable losses against St. Croix and Martin Luther. So it'll be hard for Port Washington to really jump higher than where they are right now due to those losses against Martin Luther and St. Croix, as well as, the round win percentage as well. Again, a lot of variables in play. I'm kind of sort of like hypothetically predicting, where these teams might end up if, they win out or they lose out, something like that. Remaining schedule today, they take on Vincent at 3:45 and then Whitefish Bay 4:45. We'll see that on stream. And then we got St. Croix, number 3, 10-1 overall record, 32-4. Notable wins against Port Washington and Wilmot. And notable loss was against Fox Valley 3-2 in week 3. They could, bite them in terms of trying to get to the number 1 overall seed. At this point, it might not be likely because Fox Valley is likely to win out the rest of their games. St. Croix is as well. Just saying the hypothetical of, dropping that game hurts their chances at the number 1 seed, but they'll still be a higher seed regardless. Remaining schedule, we're going to see their game against Grafton momentarily, and then we will see what they do against West Salem later on today. Number 2, we have Martin Luther, 10-0 overall, 30-3 round win record. Notable wins against Port Washington and Fox Valley. Notable losses. We just put the graphic of Wario saying I won, and there's no but at all costs at the end because there's really no cost in the strategy that Martin Luther has had all season, which is win. They're 10-0. Remaining schedule today: Waterford, Sauk Prairie, and Whitefish Bay. So we'll be watching on Martin Luther as well to see what happens with them. They do have that valuable head-to-head tiebreaker over Fox Valley Lutheran, number 1 currently. Overall record 11-1, 35-5 round win record, 88%. Notable wins against Grafton, MSL, and St. Croix, but their one notable loss is against Martin Luther. Remaining schedule: Freedom and Ashland. So keep this all in your brains as we go into League Spot once, this doubleheader stream concludes, and we might be able to justify the moving pieces in Division 2 as it is our focus for today's stream. Obviously, we have several tiebreakers going on in Division 1, like Elkhorn and Chippewa Falls, RVA, all those other teams, Waukesha West, and then Division 3, you have to figure that out as well. But that is my little tidbit of in-depth analysis. We'll be getting into the lobby shortly here. And again, to talk more about that St. Croix and Fox Valley matchup, I mean, coming into it, we knew it was going to be one of the bigger matches in Division 2. I mean, these two teams played each other in the winter 2024 Division 2 grand final, so you knew there was going to be a sense of revenge for the Panthers, and they almost got it. They played well enough to stay in it, but it's just Fox Valley's experience within WIHSEA and their experience as a team, being a team for so long, and having the same band of people over the last 2 years definitely gives you sort of an advantage because your chemistry is more fluent in a way. However, St. Croix, one of the newer teams to Rocket League, put up an absolute classic against Fox Valley, with a little more consistency in the shot choice towards the end of the game. And, you're looking at the Panthers upsetting Fox Valley the same way Martin Luther did. So, Division 2 is pretty stacked when it comes to, the top contending teams. I mean, the top 6 I have right in front of me in my notebook: Fox Valley, Martin Luther, the aforementioned St. Croix, Port Washington, Whitefish Bay, and Grafton. All 6 of these teams are the top ranked teams for a reason. I mean, they compete on a daily basis. They try to improve as they go. And, other teams like MSL, Ashland, and Wilmot are within the top 10, and they're all trying to battle for their respective seeding as well. So it's going to be amazing to see this Division 2 bracket shape up, and it's going to be a little difficult to predict this Division 2 bracket because there's a lot of winners you can decipher here. I mean, obviously the consensus pick would be Fox Valley given their experience. However, we've seen newer schools kind of take the throne in recent years, so I wouldn't be surprised if Martin Luther or St. Croix wins it, or a team such as Grafton upsetting a couple teams in the playoffs in order to get to state. I mean, we've seen so many things happen in the last couple years of WIHSEA Rocket League. If you look back at our history, I mean, you got teams like Barron that came out of nowhere in Division 4 a couple years back and almost took out WCA, a team that everybody had, listed as the potential winner for that division. And, although that did happen, Barron put up an absolutely tremendous fight. I mean, taking it all 7 games in that series, absolutely phenomenal. I believe we have all 6 members in the custom game lobby. Penguin, the team points leader for Grafton. Kevin, noted as the best team player in Far Nebula, has most assists on the team. And we are ready to go with game number 1. best of 5 between St. Croix and Grafton. Turn down the game audio a little bit. Kevin going to tip that ball up, and St. Croix going to rotate back, but Dalo's going to be there to try and center the ball in position. Nice challenge from Dalo, keeping the ball up high. Gets a 50. This team sort of filling each other out with their challenges. JMSN off the wall. Is that going to go through? It is. A splash goal indeed. What a touch off the wall from JMSN. Definitely one of the more satisfying goals we've seen this season, and St. Croix starting things off right with a goal in the first 40 seconds. Let's see how Grafton responds. Oh, sailing a little wide here. Grafton just trying to set something up. JMSN trying to pinch it off the wall. Where High is there to recover for his teammate in the back line. Now we're trying to redirect on 0 boost. Had an ideal situation. JMSN to High. That shot's going to be saved by far Nebula. That's a demo from Penguin. Goals left open. What a combination save there. Pinching it off the corner of the net. Making sure it doesn't go through. Dalo with the demo. That opens things up for High. However, that'll be a double save effort by far Nebula. Trying to play keep away with Grafton here. A couple of missed touches. And Dalo going to get the score for the Panthers. A couple whiffs in the net by Grafton, really opening things up for the Panthers to stay patient and strike when they want to. And that's exactly what Dalo did. 2-0 lead here. 3:10 to go. Oh, trying to get another center opportunity. This team likes to operate pretty quickly as a unit once they get going, St. Croix. And they're just controlling where the ball is. Doing what they can to set up plays. See what Grafton's able to do when nearing center position. JMSN struggling to keep the ball up. However, the Panthers just buying time for each other here. A little low on boost. Grafton's trying to be on the defending side. A little bit of a miscommunication with the pass to JMSN. However, he does get the challenge off. Be up to Dalo to clear the ball away from the Panthers half here. Over at Grafton, putting great pressure on St. Croix with a little over 2 minutes to go. Let's see what the Blackhawks can muster up here within the 2-minute mark of this game 1. Nebula trying to race the members of the Panthers here, trying to get it past Dalo. He does. However, gets demoed off by High. Playing the patrol role for his team. Dalo and JMSN bump into each other incidentally. Kevin gonna look to push this one right to far Nebula. What a bump from Dalo, and that's in for Grafton. A genius level play. Kevin bouncing it off the wall, and great awareness from Far Nebula to realize that his teammate's shot is near the net and it was open. Just a slight tap of the wheels on the Dalo opens things up for the Blackhawks, and that's the creative play style you have to run against a team like St. Croix. Be unpredictable at all times, as Kevin almost reading the bounce immediately following the kickoff there, and all of a sudden Grafton back in this one. A minute to go here, but plenty of time to muster the one goal, the sacred goal that you need to tie the game up. Kevin backflipping at the far nebula. Gets challenged off, though, by Dalo on that left side of the field. JMSN with the center high is there. Puts it in for the Panthers. And Kevin wasn't able to identify where High was on the field before it was too late. High with a great bounce on that shot to make it even more unpredictable. Far Nebula trying to respond on the kickoff. Oh my goodness. JMSN popping it up for High. An alley-oop style play for the Panthers. Having a little freestyler mentality while up 3 goals in game 1. Save from Penguin on the Dalo shot. That's a center. Over great hustle by Grafton or Nebula. Gotta push it towards the Panthers net. That's a save from Penguin. Or excuse me, save from High onto Penguin shot. Your seconds to go. St. Croix gonna take this game 1. Dalo gets the buzzer beater at the end. And that's a feel-good ending if you're St. Croix to a game 1. And we'll see how Grafton responds to St. Croix after that game 1. 5 goals put on the board by the Panthers. It was more so of the Panthers, controlling the perimeter of the field throughout. Grafton did have some great looks, including that singular goal by Kevin set up by Far Nebula, bumping Dalo out of the way. So Grafton does have the creative play style that they want to run. It's just that St. Croix just have the killer instinct on defense to shut teams down. Game 2 of the best of 5 underway. Dalo with the demo to start us off here. Almost a goal from Grafton. Dude, Dalo Kadir gets a pass. One demo. Oh my. Dalo just making that look effortless. The touch on the ball. Parking right in front of it. The demo onto Kevin, and St. Croix gaining this momentum. They do not want to let it go away from them. Far Nebula, though, trying to get a quick response for his team. Will be rejected by High. Far Nebula having to retreat to get boosts, and that just allows more time for the Panthers to set things up offensively for what they want to run. AMSN with the pop, however. High is going to get the 50. Jameson taking it back to St. Croix's half, trying to get a pinch off the wall. Could not get it to go. Jameson and High a little bit cluttered up in that back line for St. Croix. Getting a little too cute on the defensive side. Oh my. Just deflecting shots. And the Panthers have some breathing room now, but Grafton is knocking on the door here. Let's see if they can put a goal in the tie. St. Croix doing a nice job getting it towards the Blackhawks half. Giving everybody else time to get boost, get situated with their positioning and the rotations. 2 very important factors to the game of Rocket League. Far Nebula popping this one up high with the demo onto Far Nebula. And things reset smoothly for St. Croix. One from high on the right side of the field, getting things. The Blackhawk territory gets a demo as well. Another demo. St. Croix showing their physical element of play here. Just doing everything they can to prevent Grafton from getting the one goal they need to tie this up. AMSN a pass to Dallo. Goes through Nebula. However, there is a man back for the Blackhawks. Give them a little breathing room here. Far Nebula, a couple great touches. High sticks with it, though. Where it's Kevin's turn. Try and muster up something with no boost. Steals the boost away from St. Croix. It'll discombobulate the Panthers. Offensively trying to move quickly with the ball. Element of time. Important in these games. Not really crucial for Grafton yet. Oh my goodness. What a save from Dallo. But the pressure is still on Grafton to score here. High with another demo on the Penguin. Another demo. Who will let the dogs out today? Because High is feasting right now. However, Kevin shuts him down with a demo of his own. High, full control of the ball. Minimal boost, though. Try to maybe flick it towards that left corner of the net. Fortunately, didn't have the boost. Does have the boost this time. JMSN directing traffic towards that right side wall. He's trying to go for a challenge here. Dallo, JMSN, minimal boost. Now one in position for Dallo to strike. However, that's a save from Far Nebula. Touch from Dallo doesn't admit to much for the Panthers. A great challenge from Kevin. Putting the ball downfield in position for Grafton to possibly score. Far Nebula shot just a little off. Oh, that went off the crossbar for Kevin. And Grafton is desperately trying to get this goal here. Their defense has been a lot better this game than in game one. Even with the heavy demo contact they're facing as a unit in this game too. From High specifically, Dallo with another save. And let's see if Grafton has a vintage moment in them here. Got 4 seconds to go. Bad news is it's on. The ball's on their half. And they just cannot get it off. And oh wait, the ball's still up though. Oh, unfortunately, it's going to touch St. Croix taking game 2. But that was a very competitive game 2. Just a lot of back and forth on the defensive side for both teams, just preventing one another from scoring. And you know, Dallo had that goal that was flicked in after some discombobulation on the defensive side from Grafton. But other than that, it was a pretty evenly played game 2 from both teams. And, you know, when you're in those tight 1-0 contests, it's very, very crucial that you hold the lead, because if you don't, you know, chances are the other team is going to pick up steam, you know, later on, especially if they tie the game with like 20 or so seconds left. And then you go immediately into overtime. The team that just scored is going to have that adrenaline in them to do it again. So St. Croix doing a nice job defensively to stall off Blackhawks. We're on to game 3. Demo by Dallo on to Kevin. Kick us off here. Grafton knows they're down 2-0. And High knows that the Panthers are up 2-0 and they want to solidify a 3-0 win here. However, I don't think Grafton's going to go away too quietly. Far Nebula at the center. Dallo there to force it out immediately. JMSN floater bump over Penguins there. Man unaccounted for by the Panthers. Making that clear. Great save from Kevin on the Dallo shot. St. Croix right now in the good spirits of Johnny Wishbone. High with a good bicycle hit. Missing the touch that time. Penguin going up. Maybe a possible solo play. Oh no, it's center opportunity, and Far Nebula pre-jumps it a little too soon. Another opportunity that could have gone the way of the Blackhawks here, but still early into this game 3. Even though a center opportunity that'll be saved by Dalo. Couple misses. Penguin with the center off the backboard. Far Nebula not able to come away with a clean touch. High with a pass. The Dalo is right under it, and it's in. And this is just great teamwork from High and Dalo, knowing they have so much groundwork in front of them. They have plenty of time to set up the passing play, and that's what St. Croix is great at, is those passing plays in the open field when they're confident in their abilities. It's a beautiful thing to see. Oh no, Kevin almost putting it in. It's still in position for Grafton. And finally, Far Nebula. Wow. That was almost disastrous for the Blackhawks. However, great awareness from Far Nebula to race back like a pullback race car and put that in for his team. 1-1 here, 2:56 to go. And Grafton can calm their nerves, at least for right now, with the tie ball game. But they have to stop this aerial assault they're receiving from St. Croix here with these passing plays like we just saw from High and Dalo. Kevin eliminating Dalo from the equation. Jamison trying to do some things with the zero boost. Dalo popping that one up. JMSN in position. Dalo's there. Puts up a shot. That'll be saved by Far Nebula. Great read. Kevin full control of the ball. However, JMSN coming across his left side, intercepting that one. Dalo flicking it over. Far Nebula gets it past Kevin. Could be a huge opportunity for St. Croix. Penguin gets bumped out of the way. A goal for High. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's the mindset that the Panthers had right there. Great overall teamwork. And they regain the lead with 1:47 to go. High twirling around multiple times here. Count the twirls on that one, and that's a goal for JMSN. He was actually in the hard cam too. That's hard to get into there. Nonetheless, the JMSN a great shot off that right side. St. Croix just trying to solidify their lead here. 3-1 in game 3. Nice pinch off the ground by Dalo. High passing over to JMSN. St. Croix just playing time at this point. Blackhawks still have 1:15. They're trying to get 2 goals on the board. He's got to find some sort of crease in the Panthers defense here. JMSN to Dalo. Already set up. That one almost teardropping into the net. Over Penguins there for the save. Ball going over High. JMSN trying to fake out Far Nebula. Bait the defender for another goal, possibly. High to Dalo again. That one, whoa, what a save from Kevin. Putting great force on that one. That one going through for JMSN, his second of the contest. You see anticipation of Penguin coming over the left side. Didn't deter Jamison in that attempt to shoot the ball in the net. That's another great thing about St. Croix. They have great anticipation. And, well, if there wasn't a dagger before, that certainly is a dagger right there. High, another goal. I believe Dalo has a playmaker now. That one bar down and in. That is the dagger for the Panthers here. 32 seconds to go. And St. Croix looking to just play time at this point. Walk out of here with another win on the season. This will be their 11th win documented. And not before Penguins scoring for the Blackhawks. What a shot. Great pass from Kevin to Penguin. Right at midfield. And that's a feel-good goal for the Blackhawks. And they definitely competed hard in this series, even though the score is 3-0. Doesn't really do it that much justice, especially if you go back and watch the game too, where both the team were just mano-a-mano outside of that one goal from St. Croix. Panthers going to walk away 3-0 with a series win, a big head-to-head. Their chase for the third seed or better in Division 2. So definitely help them out in terms of their overall statistics. So 11-1 overall. Make them a 35-4 round win record if anybody's keeping track of that. So Grafton will drop to 9-3, and St. Croix advance to 11-1 on the season. So that'll conclude the first match for the doubleheader. Yeah, if you're just a box score watcher and you look at all these 3-0s, you're not going to get the full picture unless if you see it for yourself. And, this 3-0, again, is just another example of a close competitive 3-0. I mean, there's 3-0s that, that are absolute blowouts, and, 3-0s like these where, both teams are just competing at a high level. It's just in this case that the Panthers were the better team in that series, and, that's okay. That happens in WIHSEA Rocket League. There's that adaptability factor that rubs off as soon as you play one of these highly competitive teams, and you work together as a team to see what you can do next time if you run into the team. So Grafton, still going to be one of the top teams to look out for in the playoffs. It just unfortunately was not their day today, but hats off to both St. Croix and Grafton for an entertaining 3-0 series. And I will take a short break, and we will be back with Port Washington and Whitefish Bay. I'll see if both of the teams are ready to go a little bit early. But for now, I will take a short break. I will be back. Okay, I have returned. So before we get into our next match, which will be starting early potentially, we're waiting on Port Washington to finish up their game against Beloit Turner. However, we do, or excuse me, Vincent, but we do have a result for Whitefish Bay's first matchup of Week 7, and that is a 3-0 win against Beloit Turner. So to put them at 10-1 and 32-5 for round win record. So pulled up the notes for Port Washington and Whitefish Bay. So Port Washington today, they are led by their captain, Sixful, Grand Champion 1, NXT Frosty Champion 1, D1 Pre-Built Heater. Still one of the greatest Rocket League usernames I think I've ever seen. Besides Crybaby on 60 FPS from Pacelli. Shout out to you if you so happen to be watching the stream. Diamond 2, Winter 2023 stats for the Pirates. They went 5-3 overall. 17-9 game record. They finished third place in their respective conference in Division 2 when we had an expansive list of Rocket League teams across 5 divisions. I mean, that was just a huge season, to put it short. See a Rocket League in terms of schools signing up. In their playoff run, they defeated Waterford, Whitefish Bay, and lost to Fort Atkinson. They finished third place overall in the Winter 2023 Division 2 playoffs. Not to scoff at all if you're the Pirates. Winter 2024, they were first rounded, unfortunately, by WIHSEA West in the Division 1 playoffs. They earned the 15th seed and lost to number 2 WIHSEA West 3-0, who would then get upset by Whitefish Bay, fun fact. So these little niche storylines always come up whenever I make these note sheets or whenever I make these games. It's kind of just common courtesy. I think God knows I want to do something in journalism later on in life too. So it's kind of funny to me. Under 2025 season stats for Port Washington, they're 11, no, not 11-2 yet, 10-2 as of right now. 31-7 game record. They're currently in that tie for 4th place in Division 2, but they currently hold the 4th spot. If you're not evaluating the tie, if that makes any sense. League Spot has all of the ranking information as well. So if you get confused, just go over to WIHSEA.leaguespot.gg. Find Division 2 Rocket League, list the rankings as well. Week 1 for Port Washington, matches 1 and 2. Win against MSL 3-1, loss versus Martin Luther 3-0. Week 2, wins against Beloit Turner and Waterford. Week 3, matches 1 and 2, win versus Sauk Prairie, and a win versus Wisconsin Lutheran that was featured on stream. The little FOS and the green means featured on stream. I like to point that out because, sometimes when you have the same school come on the stream again, you can talk about the previous performance. And what Port Washington did against Wisconsin Lutheran was, a dominant performance, really shutting them out from scoring. They did get 1 goal in, I believe, in game 2, but other than that, Wisconsin Lutheran was pretty much shut out by the Pirates, and that was due to their captain, Sixful, who in game 2, by the way, scored 4 goals on her own. So Sixful, definitely a standout player for this Pirates team. I mean, she's reviewing VODs constantly. She's striving to improve. I mean, I heard from the coach over at Port Washington that she was just dying for the stream to end when we had Wisconsin Lutheran and Port Washington to end, so she could just go back and VOD review and stuff like that. And that's the power of competitive esports, ladies and gentlemen, is, team bonding, chemistry, working with those people, and, trying to win championships, just trying to have fun esports. And that fun aspect, really gets lost when you're just focusing on, the championships. I mean, that is one thing that is beneficial to being like really, really good at esports, but, just sometimes it's got to let loose after a tough day, just have some fun, and just go crazy. And that's what the Washington Pirates have really done this season, is sort of just have fun as a team, stay poised, composed, and just try to do the best. I mean, a third place spot in the last 2 years in WIHSEA playoffs in a tough Division 2 at the time, that's impressive. I mean, this is arguably a tougher Division 2 in my opinion. This season for winter 2025, obviously we don't have Fort Atkinson and Shawano anymore, but we have teams like Martin Luther and St. Croix to take those spots. Not saying that St. Croix and Martin Luther are a little bit on the same level as Shawano and Fort Atkinson. They could be, however, I'm simply saying that Port Washington has faced tremendous competition in the last 3 seasons that they've been in WIHSEA Rocket League. Week 4, matches 1 and 2 loss against St. Croix, 3-1 win against Jefferson. Week 5, matches 1 and 2 win against Ripon, win against Freedom. Week 6, matches 1 and 2 win versus Ashland, win versus East Troy. Whitefish Bay Blue Dukes. Starting lineup consists of Go Milbrew, a Grand Champion 1, Tagneg, a Champion 2, and Lupa, Champion 1. Winter 2024 stats for Whitefish Bay: 4-2 overall record with a 14-6 game record. They finished 4th in Division 1. They earned the 10th seed based on their placement in their respective conference. Beat Sun Prairie. They had that upset win against Waukesha West that made me go bonkers live on stream. Wi-Fi from Whitefish Bay actually clipped that in I believe it was the quarterfinal stream for winter 2024. So that was pretty funny. I always come back to that because that's such a shocking moment, because it's just like a 10 seed going against a 2 seed. It's kind of like a little bit like a March Madness style matchup where you think the number 2 is gonna pull away, but there's just that slight chance that any given Sunday feel that 10 seed can knock off the 2 seed. And that's exactly what happened for Whitefish Bay. So hats off to them for that tremendous accomplishment. Even though they fell to Chippewa Falls in the D1 playoffs, would then go on to win the title, finishing 3rd place. Again, just a tremendous accomplishment nonetheless. I mean, you get to play in the 3rd place game. You want to play in the championship game, but to just play in that 3rd place game and make the podium at least is great as well. Winter 2025 stats for the Blue Dukes: 9-1 overall, 29, or should be updated now. 10-1 overall and 32-5. They're in that tie, and on my note sheet they are number 5. But with their win, things could have possibly changed in the league spot. Week 1, matches 1 and 2. Bye and a win versus Jefferson. Week 2, wins against Two Rivers and Ripon. Week 3, lost to Grafton 3-2. However, Grafton did lose their game against St. Croix, so their chances of passing Whitefish Bay and seeding, could be over. It'd be really hard for that to happen now. And then Whitefish Bay completed their Week 3 campaign with a win against Freedom. Week 4, wins against West Salem and Ashland. Week 5, huge win against MSL 3-2. Got to put the featured on stream thing on this note sheet, but it was featured on stream, and that was a great series as well. Back and forth, at one point you thought Whitefish Bay was going to win the series 3-0, and all of a sudden MSL just comes back with their risk-taking ability offensively. I mean, their offense was on fire with players such as Bobos and Emma. Unfortunately, though, the defensive side, lacked clarity and specificity on where everybody was supposed to be position-wise on the field, and that's what ultimately cost them. And Whitefish Bay took the lemons they were given and made lemonade, essentially, and they were able to walk out of that series 3-2. Win versus East Troy to cap off Week 5 for them. Week 6, matches 1 and 2. Win versus Vincent, and Another win against Beloit Turner. They're waiting their match against Martin Luther, which will be at 5:45 p.m. today. And a fun fact about Whitefish Bay, they've achieved an average ACT composite score of 24.5 as of 2024. So definitely a lot of smart folks over there at Whitefish Bay. That is all I have for notes on both of the teams. Okay, so Wi-Fi in the chat has said Grafton has head-to-head over Whitefish Bay and with games versus two hard teams in Port Washington and Martin Luther. 2 losses would leave Grafton the tiebreaker. Okay. It's a little bit of clarification there. We know Whitefish Bay is ready to go early, just waiting on Port Washington to see if they are ready to start a little bit earlier today. After the quick 3-0 that we saw between St. Croix and Grafton. Port Washington currently leading 2-0 against Vincent. So in theory, they should be complete with that game shortly. It looks like Wilmot has jumped to 10-3 as well with a win over East Troy. There's still have to play Vincent later on today. That's another team to look out for. However, they don't have many valuable head-to-heads, but they will have the hard team losses potentially too that might factor into them getting a top seed. But again, not sure on the real specifics behind how these playoff seeds are going to be put together, because you have to look at the game win percentage for each team. You have to look at records. Virus in chat for Martin Luther stream our 5:45 game. We could theoretically fit that in. I mean, it would make sense to do that, right? It would make sense to do that. And we just have to make sure Martin Luther gets done with the rest of their matches. I'll see if. Okay, so they only have one game to play against Sauk Prairie at 4:45. And they beat Waterford. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I think it would make the most sense to stream Whitefish Bay versus Martin Luther, given how tight the playoff race is in Division 2. And, with a little visual of, Whitefish Bay and Martin Luther, I think that would work just fine. So maybe we can make this a inadvertent triple header at the last possible second here, because it makes sense. But we'll see where the time lies. Okay, Port Washington's coach has just emailed saying that they are almost done with Game 3. So I'll go ahead and make sure The lobby is set up for both Fort Washington and Whitefish Bay, and we'll get things rolling shortly. Our second game of the stream. Okay, so for those who are just tuning into the stream, this is the regular season finale of the Winter 2025 WIHSEA Rocket League season. I am your fellow WIHSEA commentator, Andrew Schuster. Pleased to be joining you for this broadcast. Earlier, we had St. Croix take on Grafton in our first match of the scheduled doubleheader, which St. Croix won 3-0 over the Blackhawks, advancing to 11-1 on the season, strengthening their chance for a top playoff seed in Division 2. Grafton still within the top 7-8 teams in Division 2 in terms of seeding, and we will have Port Washington and Whitefish Bay kickoff in, I would say, about 5-ish minutes, something like that. And both of these teams, too, are going to try to fight for a top playoff spot. Port Washington comes in 11-2, and Whitefish Bay coming in at 10-1. And we could see a third matchup between Whitefish Bay versus Martin Luther. So go ahead and grab yourself something to eat, something to drink, and be back here in a few minutes to witness another cinematic Rocket League game in Division 2 between two teams that are just feasting for a top playoff seed in Division 2. As this matchup's going to determine, which seed these teams are going to get, what opponents are going to play in the playoffs. I mean, there's so many implications with Division 2 alone, and we got Division 1 and Division 3 as well. So a lot of things happening across the league here. Take a look at what's gone on for Division 1, and so far we can confidently say that Case Walden has completed their Winter 2025 season 14-0, obtaining all 14 possible points in WIHSEA League spot. All 14 of those have come from playing matches. Very impressive. Waukesha West 13-1 as of right now. Elkhorn 12-1, RVA 11-2, Chippewa Falls 11-2. New Richmond 10-3, Sheboygan South 9-4, Hartford Union 8-4, Appleton East 8-5, Slinger 8-5, Wanago still 6-6, West De Pere 6-7, Wausau West 6-8, Orlick 5-8, Stevens Point 5-8, Waukesha South 4-8. I believe that would be the cutoff for top 16 as of right now in Division 1. And then for Division 2, as of this current moment, before Whitefish Bay versus Port Washington takes center stage, Fox Valley 12-1, Martin Luther 11-0, St. Croix 11-1, Port Washington 11-2, Whitefish Bay 10-1, Wilmot 10-3, Grafton 9-3, Wisconsin Lutheran 8-4, MSL 7-5, Ashland 6-7, Beloit Turner 5-7. New London 5-8, Waterford 4-8, Jefferson 4-8, Freedom 4-9, and Kirpon 3-9, and that would be the cutoff. Top 16 for Division 2. And I will read Division 3 out momentarily. Just going to make sure Port Washington has the info they need to join the lobby. We'll get Whitefish Bay in here as well. All right, let me look for Division 3 here real fast. Okay, so Division 3, as of this current moment, Bocelli 13-0, holding the one spot solely. Deerfield 12-1, Williams Bay 12-1, Barron 12-1, Brookfield Academy 11-2, Little Wolf 11-2, Phillips 10-4, St. Lawrence Seminary 9-5, Valors 7-6, Stanley Boyd 7-7, Gibraltar 6-7, Watoma 6-8, Gillette 5-8, Random Lake 5-8, WLA 4-9, Wrightstown 4-9, and I believe that will be the cutoff for Division 3. So, top teams in each division: Division 1, Case Walden; Division 2, Fox Valley; and Division 3, Bocelli, as of this current moment. And we are about to get set for an absolute heater of a series between Port Washington and Whitefish Bay. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Match 2 of the scheduled regular season finale doubleheader underway. As Whitefish Bay will be in the blue, Port Washington in the orange. Go Milbrew trying to set things up for Lupa. Immediately, that one falling through. It's a great little double touch to stall time for his teammate, Go Milbrew, in the assist department early as Lupa counted for with the goal within the first 15 seconds of game 1. Go Milbrew trying to get it past 6 full. We know she might have a huge impact on this game. Streaking down the left wall. Tegnick trying to be patient, bumping 6 full out of the way. Great play. Bumping the captain out of position. Demo from Go Milbrew onto BT. However, that's going to be a save from 6 full. Going to push it up. Trying to get it set up for teammates. However, the Pirates forced to stay back in their own half. 6 full popping it up twice, getting it past Tegnig and Lupa in the same breath. BT over the middle, shot. Oh, what a fake out, and it's in for Port Washington. BT, a great play, just putting it in the place where Lupa cannot reach it. Just taking candy from a baby right there is what BT did to Lupa. It's a demo from 6 full. So we're tied up at 1. In the first game, great bump from 6 full. And you know, this game is going to be very physical and heavily reliant on Jukes, says Go Milbrew, setting the tone once again for the Blue Dukes. Just a sensational juke over the middle of the field, opening things up for his team. 1-goal lead with 3:20 to go. And only the first game of the series. This one is going to be a banger of a series. Lupa passing it over to Tegneg. Gets jammed by BT. Went for a demo. Milbrew setting the tone again, juking out multiple defenders from Port Washington to the same point. Sixfull gets it over one. Can't get it over Go Milbrew, though. That's the big kahuna that you got to get the ball over for Sixfull. ET with the demo on the Go Milbrew. Sixfull gets it past one. However, Go Milbrew spawning back fast enough. Makes out the touch there. Tegneg, beautiful hit off of the wall. Go Milbrew, double touch. Tegneg there. Oh, it just almost went in for the Blue Dukes. So close yet so far away. Go Milbrew pops it up. Sixfull trying to read it. Great defensive stand by the Blue Dukes. Go Milbrew just trying to be unpredictable with the ball. It's what you have to do at this point. Tegneg mistouch. Go Milbrew holding that net for Whitefish Bay down with some flex seal, just being everywhere, doing everything he can. Trying to protect it from Sixfull. You know, she's a natural striker in this game. We're flicking it up. Tegneg. Teardropper is in. The setup played beautifully, and, you know, I couldn't have done it better myself. Tegneg putting it right in front of multiple Port Washington defenders. However, they were not able to shift towards the goal in time to make that save. Whitefish up 3-1. One pre-built heater looking to get involved in this game as well. Has been pretty quiet up to this point. Sixfull nose diving towards the Blue Dukes half. A minute to go here. Lupa shot just above. Tegneg, though, there to put it in. Insurance policy. Whitefish Bay should be sponsored by Allstate because they are in good hands with Tegneg as the third. "57 seconds to go here in game one." One pre-built heater putting one in. Finally getting his name involved here. Go Milbrew. This is a slight, that's what we call the helicopter touch. Just swirling the ball up like that. He just tried to get it out of harm's way. Maybe pass it off to a teammate. However, nobody was there. Right on pre-built to capitalize on that minor mistake from the Blue Dukes. And sets him up with a realistic chance to score 2 quick goals here. Will that happen, though? That will be the question. Oh, Sixfull, though, putting it in. Oh, my goodness, folks. Wow. I was about to say Whitefish Bay was doing a great job of shutting down Sixfull throughout game one. However, alas, she comes alive in 32 seconds to go. Your Whitefish just play time at this point. Sixfull with the ball in her hands. Setting it up for the team. BT's up. Oh, misses the touch, though. Oh, a little awkward with the boost consumption there. Just landed awkwardly in front of the ball. And that one almost in. Now it's in for Sixfull. Clutch mentality for the Pirates here. They tie it up at 4 after being down 4. After being down 4-1, excuse me. at one point in this first game. Oh my. See if any team. Oh, Technic tried to keep it up at the last second, couldn't hold the touch, and we're in overtime. And this is only the first game of the series, mind you. Lupa over the middle, missing the touch. Actually faked out the entirety of the Pirates defensive line, so that is the one glaring positive from that result. Go Milbrew, gets it past one. Look, resets it. Oh my, what a pinch. I don't even know what we call that one in the Rocket League dictionary of terminology. All three members going up for Whitefish Bay. Open lane for BT. Can't put it in, though. That's a save from Tegneg. And whoa, that was costly. Almost costly for Whitefish Bay. This is intense. We're about a minute in to this overtime. 6 full, a great 50. Tegneg can't get the brunt of that touch. Go Milbrew has a seam. What a save from 6 full coming out of nowhere. 6 full gets a nice juke, pops it up for BT, and it's intercepted by Tegneg. Tegneg now going to Port Washington side of the field. Lupa with the pass. BT though trying to direct traffic for Port Washington. Tegneg over the middle. Gets blocked off by 6 full. Go Milbrew keeping it in position. Tegneg rotating back. Go Milbrew has time. One-on-one. Oh, can't hit the shot. Gets the demo though. Whitefish Bay a little scrambled around the field here. Our minds are just going faster than our inputs on the controllers here, as they're just trying to get something to go through. That's the center. No one there though for the Blue Dukes. They have to regroup. 6 full. No boost, can have to race back to get some. BT in a big pressure situation. However, D1 pre-built heater is right next to him to make the save. Tegneg shot saved by BT. Just saves across the board here. Tegneg another opportunity for a goal. BT with the save. Tegneg the pop-up. Now Whitefish Bay looking to resurface in their half. A great challenge from D1 pre-built. 6 full launching it the other way. Tegneg, oh, shoots one just in front of the net. It's anybody's game here. 6 full playing out of her mind right now in that back line. D1 pre-built though. Looking to establish something for 6 full. Gets blocked off by Tegneg. And Go Milbrew. That shot not in. Tegneg, minimal boost, flicks it over one. Ladies and gentlemen, we are well over 3 minutes into this overtime for game 1. Go Milbrew. Save again by Port Washington. This is cinema. This is just a battle of pure endurance and adrenaline at this point. These two teams are gassed mentally, but they're just trying to fight for this game 1 win. Tegneg shot is in for Whitefish Bay, and they take game number 1. Wow. A near 4-minute overtime coming to an end. The sharpshooter that Tegneg is comes alive, and Whitefish Bay taking game 1. Wow. What a game. I mean, both teams just going at each other's throats throughout most of this. Tegneg 3 of 6 on shots. Go Milbrew 1 of 6. Lupa 1 of 2. 6 full 2 and 3 on shots. D1 pre-built BT getting goals as well. Every single player scored a goal in the first game of the series. That's rare to happen, especially to start a series. I mean, my goodness, this is such a cinematic series in the making here. Whitefish Bay has the slight advantage with the game 1 win. And the Blue Dukes are going to have confidence here. But I mean, if you're Port Washington, you know, you did all you could at the end of the day. It's a 4-minute overtime. Rarely happens. And, you know, quite frankly, this is anybody's series. Just have to see how the rest of it shakes out. As we are good for game number 2. For Washington getting the kickoff immediately, 6-full, trying to set the tone, however. Not going to get that ensuing goal off of the kickoff. Techneg just trying to stall off Port Washington. You know they're going to be aggressive for goals. Go Milbrew twirling around in the air, leaving it up a little bit too high. The hang time was too much. D1 pre-built had the opportunity to knock that ball down. Techneg open seam, trying to read 6-full. However, 6-full does not allow Techneg to open up the book of tricks. Go Milbrew, trying to set something up. 6-full, great clear. Go Milbrew's up. It's another save for Port Washington. Port Washington really trying to methodically play this out defensively here. They don't want to let any potential goals occur. Let the ball sneak into their half. Going to play a patient game. Whitefish Bay, though, warring on the aggression. That's a save from D1 pre-built heater. Whitefish Bay just trying to stall out all 3 members of the Pirates here, and it has worked to a certain extent. And I'd like to keep that trend afloat here. With that 1-game cushion in the series. Oh my goodness, what a redirect from Go Milbrew. Techneg to Go Milbrew. Shades of what we saw earlier on between St. Croix with the dynamic passing plays. And as they say, teamwork makes the dream work, and Whitefish Bay is up 1 because of it. Port Washington trying to create a little bit of their own Houdini magic. However, not able to that time. And if game 1 taught us anything, it's to not count out Port Washington, because they were down 4-1 in game 1, but they came back, tied it up at 4, and, you know, just barely lost a 3-minute 57 overtime. So Whitefish Bay not out of the woods just yet here. Trying to pull themselves out. The shot just centimeters away from going into Whitefish Bay's net. Go Milbrew, trying to create some space for himself. He does, successfully puts it in. And, you know, that's the dream you have every time you want to take the ball off of your own wall and, you know, do a solo play like that. I mean, when you get that bounce to hit and the defender under it just goes choom away from the ball, I mean, that is just... that's heaven as a Rocket League player right there for a simplistic solo play that, you know, is very hard to perform if the defense knows what you're doing. Oh, a double tap off the crossbar for BT. Pressure. However, no goal falls through. Tagnag shot of the backboard, trying to set something up here. Keep the pressure on Port Washington. Can't let them get away with trying to tie this up like what happened in game 1. Blue Dukes are going to do what they can to prevent Port Washington from scoring here. Rebuilt shot saved by Go Milbrew. See what Go Milbrew can do now. Or it'll be Lupa to get the first touch. BT cannot save it in time, and Lupa gets it past the defender well enough. It's a great shot from Lupa, anticipating where the defender's going to go with the ball, making sure ball rolled deep enough away from the defender, in hindsight, to go in. BT, can he try to fit one in there? No. Go Milbrew just evaporating any chance for Port Washington to string a comeback here. That ball just going to be slightly touched by Tagnag. Gets knocked down. Whitefish Bay taking game number 2. And in that series, it was just more of Whitefish Bay asserting their dominance early like they did in game 1. However, they were able to finish as a unit defensively and not allow Port Washington any breathing room whatsoever. And that's a fabulous adjustment from the side of the Blue Dukes. And now it's Port Washington's turn to really, start early here on the offense if they, want a great chance at extending this series, as Whitefish Bay is up 2-0 now after that crucial overtime win in game 1. So the pressure is on Port Washington to get this win. They want a shot as a higher seed or stay in the 4th spot, which they were at heading into today. Shall see what happens in these last few games, depending on what happens in game 3. Demo from Go Milbrew immediately. And they're just going to try to suffocate the offensive mentality that Port Washington has and just try to control the field their own way. Tagnag trying for a solo play. 6 full. Trying to be a little more aggressive on the offensive side. BT looking for a center, but again, just the physicality factor that Whitefish Bay brings to the table when they know they have to get the job done is next level. Six full with the center and the goal. And that's exactly what Port Washington needs to do here. Set the tone early for themselves. And a beautiful aerial goal. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, that looked like a Tetris move, just trying to move one of those blocks over to the side to try and actually build up a Tetris. That's exactly what Six Full's Fennec looked like there. Just that long, skinny piece that you always want when you're trying to build up a Tetris. To get a massive to get big points on the scoreboard, excuse me. That's exactly what 6-4 did. Not as many big points, but a crucial goal nonetheless for Port Washington in a desperate situation here. 6-4, a flick. That one above the crossbar. Teammate there to read it, however. Goes above the crossbar. 6-4 on the rebound attempt again. That's a save from Tegneg. 6-4, another deep shot. Go Milbrew. Waiting patiently enough to make that save. Keeping his composure. Lupa centers it. That's a save by 6-4. Port Washington just got to play with the lead here. Don't get too cute offensively or defensively. What a save from BT. That one nearly in for the Blue Dukes. Go Milbrew. Trying to pass it over to Lupa. Missing the touch there. Six foot now on the offense, trying to get a center going for Port Washington. Can't get it to go through. Tegneg to Lupa. Thought that might have been a teardropper, however, too slow and too far away from the net. Make that a reality. Demo by Go Milbrew. That one almost in for Port Washington. Great save by Lupa. 6-4. That one's in for the Pirates. Just a simple little tap on that wall, and you know, you just gotta hope the third is there, and in that case 6-4. Making the play for her team when they need her the most. The captain rising up to the occasion. And we'll see if Whitefish Bay can string together 2 goals of their own as well. Oh, Milbrew. Trying for one of those solo plays again. Unsuccessful this time. Great maneuverability of the ball. Gets it past one. Can't get it past BT. Now Whitefish will look to regroup with the ball here. Lupa misses the jump on the ball. Milbrew winning the challenge over Pre-Built. Keeping the momentum in Whitefish Bay's side. For BT with the big clear. Followed up by Pre-Built. Time ticking away here for Whitefish Bay to try and do something. Oh, Milbrew, a pass. Oh no, Tegneg. Lupa, no. Both of them missing off of the post. Oh no. That was a great chance at a goal for Whitefish Bay. Six full with the pass. Nobody home. Tegneg shot not in. Nobody there to follow up. A double commit on the side of Whitefish. That might have just salted it away for them. 6 full. Trying to get one more goal before this game 3 ends. The when Pre-Built shot goes wide. Port Washington winning game 3. They just had a feeling that Port Washington was going to hang in there and try to figure things out. And that's exactly what they did. Making the necessary adjustments defensively. And, you know, the MVP of game 3 for Port Washington, 6 full. I mean, with that opening kickoff goal, that really set the tone for Port Washington to take control. And you know, that first goal is really important to set the tone mentally and, you know, physically when you're playing the game. Because if you're in the mentality of, you know, you have the lead, then theoretically all you need to do is play time. However, if you're on that end with the 0 goals, you're going to do everything possible to try and get that ball to go in. Go Milbrew, Lupa. Not connecting on a pass to open us up. Lupa getting a demo on a bump. They're just trying to take out Sixful at this point. And, you know, did a great job of neutralizing Fort Washington's captain until, you know, the latter portion of game 1. And then in game 2, Sixful just kind of ran a roughshod over the Blue Dukes. And it's an open net for the Pirates, and D1 pre-built Heater is going to take advantage of it. Not really sure who was supposed to be back there for Whitefish Bay. It looked like Lupa initially was supposed to be back there. However, he did not have boost going towards midfield. It's a little bit of a miscommunication on the side of Whitefish Bay. And we've seen this sort of miscommunication occur in the midpoint of a series, such as the MSL series that they played in week 5, where, you know, they kind of just stalled a little bit offensively. They weren't able to capitalize, excuse me, on MSL's defensive mistakes, which led to MSL sticking into the game because we're so good offensively as a unit. Then Whitefish Bay was able to adapt later in that game and win that series. So could we see the same story play out for Whitefish Bay? It's a more well-rounded team in Port Washington. Sixful with the save. She'll pass it over to BT. Couple of stalemate challenges in Port Washington's half. That one almost through for Tagneg. Port Washington again just trying to play this one carefully. BT can't get a touch on the ball. Sixful barely does. And Sixful shot over the middle, almost through. Ball popped up here. Go Milbrew twirling around in the air. Trying to get something for his team. D1 pre-built with the save. Go Milbrew. Slow roller. That'll be saved by pre-built. Sixful to 50. Whitefish Bay scrambling a little bit to get this off their side. Just trying to plan their route. 40 to go in game 4. It's been a wildly entertaining series. Almost a 4-minute overtime happening in game 1. See what Sixful is able to do here. Not much, if anything. A save from Lupa. Tagneg shot. Or excuse me, Go Milbrew and Tagneg shot not in. Another key save for Port Washington. It's really been the story of this game for Port Washington, is their ability to defend when it matters most, especially in the game 3. They won that to extend the series, and now with the goal by D1 pre-built as a result of Whitefish Bay triple committing. I mean, they're just taking what they get and, you know, just running with it at this point. Just milking the clock. Sixful demoing Lupa. I thought maybe she hit the ball in the process, but no. Tagneg, oh, double. That's not in. Lupa center to Go Milbrew, trying to go for a demo instead of going for the ball. Maybe thought Tagneg was supposed to push up on that and score. Or at least take the shot. Technic full out of steam, and it's in for Whitefish Bay. They're not dead just yet. And those are the clutch moments we're talking about in WIHSEA Rocket League, where it comes down to the wire, and it's just one play that can change the trajectory of how a singular game in a best of series plays out. And into our second overtime here. This one in game 4. Whitefish Bay scores. They win the series. If Port Washington scores, we go on to a game 5. Seeding implications on the line for both teams. Heading into the playoffs for Division 2, a flip reset from Go Milbrew almost working. Lupa shot is going to be saved by BT. Technique trying to challenge 6-full, unsuccessful. Now it's back to both teams just trying to find that right angle to potentially score. Would not be surprised if we see some demos come out within the next 10 seconds or so. Rebuild launches that one towards Whitefish Bay's half. Demo by Lupa. On to pre-built. Lupa to Tegneg. It's not in. BT. Oh my goodness. Scrambling to get rid of the ball. 6-full coming into the equation to make the save. $153 in this overtime. Tegneg, another shot. That one just above the crossbar. Go Milbrew shot sailing wide to the right amidst the pressure from the Pirates. ET trying to center it for 6-full. Go Milbrew saying, get out of my way. I'm on a mission. Oh my goodness, he almost hit it in. Good lord, that would have been an amazing shot. Six-full and BT. He went pre-built. The third. Pushing up for the team here. Tegneg sniffing out. Port Washington was looking for a center. He went pre-built into position. That ball still in play for Port Washington. BT, the hero for Port Washington, puts it in. We're going to a game 5. This is bananas right now. Oh my goodness. What a play from 6-full and BT to bring it to a tie 2-2 contest here. And both of these teams have now just consistently traded back and forth. I mean, you talk about just winning in regulation and winning in overtime. I mean, like I said, even though Whitefish Bay had the 1-0 cushion, it was still anybody's series. This series is definitely something that we were not anticipating was going to be this explosive. I mean, 2 overtimes in the same series. I see Seafish Productions' message in the chat. Yes, this is the Wisconsin High School Esports Association. We have over 100 high schools across the state competing in titles such as Rocket League, Valorant, Smash Bros, stuff like that. And, you know, yeah, a lot of people, you know, wish they had this, you know, back in, you know, the 2010s or whenever they were in high school. And I agree. I wish we had this for the long run as well. Oh my goodness, Tegneg kicking us off in game 5 with a goal. 10 seconds into the contest, and you know, Whitefish Bay just wants to get out of here with a win at this point. I mean, there is just so much pressure on them today. I mean, they had their Beloit Turner win 3-0. Obviously playing Port Washington now in a tight series, and then after that they have to take a breather and then go on and play Martin Luther in the same day to determine massive playoff seeding implications in Division 2. I mean, this day has just been bonkers on the stream. This absolute cinema through and through. Series has given us some unreal highlight plays here. Go Milbrew, trying to come up with another one of his own in the solo department. And when center D1 Pregame with the save. Six full, flicking it over one. So 6 full can do now. Nothing much. Whitefish Bay absolutely has to shut down 6 full at all costs here. Demos, bumps, anything if they want to get out of here. As Port Washington is riding on so much momentum right now. It is incredible. I mean, you talk about two evenly matched teams. You're looking at two of them right now on your screen. Wherever you're watching this, whether it be YouTube or Twitch. Lupa trying to put it in. Go Milbrew. Open nets. He puts it in. And unfortunately, a double commit in the back line for Port Washington. Have rarely seen that since the momentum shift in Game 3. However, Port Washington running out of gas here. They can't afford to do that. And a big fight feel here. That one almost in. What a save from Tegneg. That might have been the best save I've seen all day. You know, the physics of Rocket League are just being defied in this series, it feels like. Prebuild looking for a center here. Can't muster it up. 6 full though. Puts it in position for pre-built. Go Milbrew knocks it away. Centering it this time for Tegneg. Right, heads up play literally for BT. Passing over to 6 full. Little wide. Oh, could have definitely juked out Tegneg. Gets it past 1 though. 6 full. A little bit indecisive with what she wanted to do there. It looked like in one breath she wanted to go for the score, and then another breath realized she didn't have the angle, tried to go for a pass, and unfortunately it just didn't work. Tegneg streaking it, center position. Lupa's there over 6 full, making a big play for Washington. Electing to take their time here, and you know, at this point you don't really want to take your time. I mean, a little over a minute to go here. It's an intense battle. It has been such an intense battle for both of these teams. Oh, and go Milbrew putting the third one in, his second. All right, center from Tegneg, and yeah, Port Washington this disoriented on the defensive line there in their net. Not going to say it's impossible for them to score 3 in a minute, but it definitely is going to be hard. They have put on their superhero capes, as we saw in game one, coming back from a 4-1 deficit. However, time is of the essence right now. Oh, Sixfold does not care. Putting one in for the team. ET, the quick center out to Sixfold. Open lane and all. Just wave dashing in the goal. 36 seconds to go. See what Port Washington can do. Let's see what magic moments they have left in them here, if any. Whitefish Bay just needs to play keep away here. Let's get some demos going on the board, possibly, if needed. Down to 10 seconds to go here. Sixfold launching it, almost in. Oh my goodness, thank goodness Tagnag was there for Whitefish Bay, or else Port Washington would have scored a second one. And that ball is going to drop down. Whitefish Bay, the winners of the series, 3-2. My goodness, what an amazing series. Absolutely amazing series that time. Whitefish Bay advancing to 11-1 on the season. Port Washington dropping to 11-3. That will be their final record for the season. Whitefish Bay still has one more game. It'll be against Martin Luther. An absolutely amazing series by both Whitefish Bay and Port Washington. So I believe we could squeak in the Whitefish Bay versus Martin Luther matchup. So I will take a quick break to recuperate my voice, and we will be back shortly with a special third match for today's stream. Stay tuned. All right. So before we wrap things up with the Whitefish Bay versus Martin Luther match, I would like to quickly commemorate my 3rd-year anniversary of being with WIHSEA. I first started February 11th, 2022, technically with the Winter Warm-Up Tournament before Spring 2022 season. I know it says July 8th, 2021. That's because there is a national tournament that WIHSEA was in. Elkhorn and Two Rivers were a part of it. But yeah, here is everything. I mean, 85 regular season matches called, 4 state championships, 6 seasons, 79 unique schools casted, grand total 126 matches casted all time. This is just a generational run for me, and it's for a generational association that's had my back since I stepped into this position. Forever grateful for this position to be your fellow WIHSEA commentator, and I just can't thank everybody enough, from to bosses, to the WIHSEA board members, to colleagues around WIHSEA, the players. I've met some really cool people in here, thanking my family for always having my back and supporting what I want to do, which is being an NFL broadcaster. My future in esports has really unlocked my potential to what I can be later on in life. So just a quick thank you to WIHSEA, Mike Dolly, and everybody else for supporting me throughout my run here. Obviously, I'm going to finish out this current Winter 2025 Rocket League season, and we'll see where things lie. If I'm able to make a return for Rocket League again next year, we'll see. But for right now, thank you to everybody, and we will get into Whitefish Bay versus Martin Luther momentarily. Just wanted to take a moment to commemorate that before it's, a little bit too late. So, create the lobby real fast. So, okay, screen on for right now. Make sure everything's set up. And the main story of this game is going to be Whitefish Bay fighting for a higher playoff seed. Up to this point, Port Washington and Grafton have fallen out of the conversation for, at least a top 4 seed. Whitefish Bay is still going to fight hard to stay the course. Okay, so you're actually going to join Whitefish Bay's game. Try to spell that right. Okay, everybody's in. I am in. And we are ready to go with game 1 of 5 of the special coverage of Whitefish Bay versus Martin Luther. See what Diamo can do here. Trying to set up Virus for a possible passing play. Tornado getting in on the action as well. Whitefish Bay again coming off of that brilliant win against Port Washington that we just saw. 3-2 final score. I mean, Whitefish Bay one of the more battle-tested teams in WIHSEA Division 2. Definitely an underdog to make a huge playoff run like they did last season in Winter 2024. Yamo shot over the middle of the field. That's a save. Virus, though, capitalizing with a goal. That's a great start for the Spartans in this one. 4:12 remaining. Tegneg trying to get things going for the Blue Dukes here. And, you know, coming off of that best of 5 against Fort Washington, you know, the adrenaline is pumping for the Blue Dukes. They have to calm themselves down a little bit. Luther coming off of their match against Sauk Prairie. Virus with the demo on the Tegneg. That shot from Go Milbrew is in. Just a great play from Go Milbrew. Luther sitting a little bit too long in their own net. We'll see what happens here. Oh my, almost a goal for Whitefish Bay. Yamo with the save. Milbrew with the center. One man back for Martin Luther. Yamo making the play. Virus trying to juke out one. Oh, and he does successfully as Go Milbrew did not have enough time to circle around and save the ball. Virus, a great solo play there. Taking out Tegneg and Go Milbrew. Just a little too late for that one. That one actually goes bar down as well. Luther racing on that right side of the field. However, they break apart from each other, space each other out, and Yamo with the goal. It's just Martin Luther's general presence on the field, being able to predict where everybody's going to line up and position themselves on the field. Just next level communication between one of the newer teams in WIHSEA here that did earn a number 4 seed in Winter 2024's playoffs. So they're no strangers to playoff atmospheres. Virus with another goal. Little assist from the teammates. Martin Luther up 4-1, 2:29 to go. Lupo with the demo on the Yamo. Nato with the center. Trying to put this one in center position. Martin Luther doing a great job on defense, preventing Whitefish Bay from tapping into their potential, which we saw against Port Washington earlier on in that series. They showed a great amount of endurance in that first overtime. It sort of stalled on offense for games 3 and 4, and then came back when it mattered most. Sealed the deal. Martin Luther is continuing to play time of possession here. Tegneg, great save. That's a shot for Lupa, and that's a save by Virus. Shot from Go Milbrew, almost in a save from Yamo that time. Another save, this time from Tegneg. Whitefish Bay looking to score here. Great bump and a goal for Whitefish Bay. I believe that was Tagneg on the bump. Or the Blue Dukes it was. I'm not sure why there's numbers on top of the player usernames. Not sure if that's a visual bug on just my end, but oh well. Nonetheless, though, we know who got the bump, Tagneg. We know who got the goal, Go Milbrew. So credit where credit is due. Tornado trying to pull a fast one and Go Milbrew. Did not bite. Bait was not tasty enough. Go Milbrew with the demo. Tagneg looking to pop it over to Go Milbrew. Shot's not in. Whitefish Bay is just, they're getting the looks that they need. They just cannot capitalize with their timing and anticipation. That's due to Martin Luther's tenacious style of defense. Just making sure that third man's always in rotation. Lupa with the ball popped up. Tagneg reading it for the moment. However, it drops. Martin Luther taking game one. See that Whitefish Bay had 10 shots to Martin Luther's 9. So Whitefish Bay, got the looks that were desirable. It's just that Martin Luther was the better team defensively, even though the save counts are the exact same. It's just the impact of the saves on the side of Martin Luther were much greater than on the side of Whitefish Bay. Yamo, that one drops down, reads his own shots. A little bit of a dicey solo play for the Spartans. They want to just handle all of their business and go undefeated on the season. Tagneg with the demo onto Virus. Tornado flicking it over Go Milbrew. Tagneg the safety blanket. Renewing that insurance policy. Tornado trying to put another one on. Tagneg with the save. Tagneg a couple demos of his own, setting Whitefish Bay up. Giving them some time to recuperate here. Because they're going to need a Yamo going in fast here. He's fast, he's furious. Looking to dismember the Blue Dukes here. Virus keeping the ball up twice. Tornado shot saved by Go Milbrew. Goal wide open, Tornado. Centers it perfectly for Virus. Just missing it off that post. How many goals have been rejected by that left post? It's got to be at least 4 across all of the matches we've seen today. Well, that happened a couple of times in that Whitefish Bay and Fort Washington game. And also the Grafton and St. Croix series as well. Tag neg at the demo. Go Milbrew to Lupa for the goal. Martin Luther a little off on their rotations that time around. The Smart Luther team has only given up 3 single games in a series so far, a series that is best of 5. Gave up 2 to Fox Valley in week 3, and I believe in week 4 they gave up only 1 to Port Washington. And Tagnag reading Martin Luther's defense. And the Spartans a little bit more pushed up than usual, a little uncharacteristic of them there, trying to get a little too militant in their attempts to score a goal here. They just got to play this one patient. Trying to get a 3-0 to try and lock up that #1 seed. However, with Fox Valley possibly winning out their last couple matchups, it might be hard for them to obtain the 1 seed at the end of the day, but we'll just see what the calculations say when the official playoff bracket is revealed. Lupa's shot is in, and Whitefish Bay has taken control of this game too against Martin Luther. Just confusing the defense with demos and, you know, ultimate penetration. That shot again in for Tagnag. That's 4. Could we be looking at Martin Luther losing only their 4th game in a series? Now one in for Yamo immediately following the kickoff, so hold your horses. Score 4-2, 1:20 to go. See if Martin Luther can put 2 goals on the board here to tie this up at 4. I mean, Whitefish Bay has had a 4-1 cushion before, and Port Washington was able to break the code, so who says Martin Luther can't do the same? Yamo to Jornado. It's a save from Tagnag less than a minute to go here. Cancellation demo between Tagneg and Virus. Yamo gets bumped by Lupa. Tagneg and Go Milbrew combining for a hit. Tagnag opening things up with the demo. Just playing time here, making sure Martin Luther can't come back in this game. That ball's up. Go Milbrew rejecting it. And it's going to drop. Whitefish Bay taking game 2. Martin Luther that time not able to capitalized on most of their shots, and that's just because Whitefish Bay was able to overwhelm them with the demos and keeping the ball their way. It's almost like Whitefish Bay is on a hot and cold cycle some of the times. You know, when they get hot, they get real hot, and when they get cold, you know, they turn down a little bit, but you know, they find the adjustments within them to keep themselves hot at the right times. And you know, a perfect example is what we just saw a while ago with the Port Washington series. I mean, you know, Whitefish Bay was in a 2-2 series, game 5, in the palm of their hand, and you know, they were able to rise up to the occasion and take it for themselves. And regardless of what seed Whitefish Bay gets, a win over a team such as Martin Luther, that is monumental because, 1, this team has not lost yet. And 2, this would just further solidify Whitefish Bay as a top contender in Division 2. Tagneg with a demo on to Yamo. Get this thing started for this game 3. Tagneg looking to put some more pressure on Martin Luther. Just keeping them uncomfortable. Go Milbrew demo on the virus. Tagneg. Shots a bit wide. Go Milbrew shot leaking through. Virus. Oh my goodness. Car just gets deleted after saving the ball. Another demo. This time from Tagneg. Martin Luther desperately trying to score here. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. They finally move the rock out of the way. Iris gives Martin Luther a 1-goal cushion. 3:37 to go in game 3. Tornado a demo on the Lupa, and if you're just tuning in, this is special coverage of Whitefish Bay versus Martin Luther. We had a little bit of time left over with both of the other matches ending a little bit early, so we figured why not pick up Whitefish Bay versus Martin Luther, a crucial matchup to determine the top 4 or 5 seeds in Division 2. I am fellow WIHSEA commentator Andrew Jr. Pleased to be joining you on this broadcast for the Wisconsin High School Esports Association. Currently my 3rd year anniversary with the association, so very happy to be here, very happy to cast on this great day of Rocket League action at the high school level. That's a save from Lupa on the Tornado shot, and you know, at this point Martin Luther is just known for playing time and obviously being aggressive when they need to be aggressive. Just try to establish a soft cushion here, as they got overwhelmed by Whitefish Bay in game 2 when they lost 4-2. See what Tagneg can do, trying to center it to his teammate. Or it's not going to happen. Virus with the shot, quickly saved by Go Milbrew. It's demoed by Virus. This has just been back and forth demos throughout most of the contest. Virus flicks it over 1. Oh, what a demo! And Tornado with the finish. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful play design from Virus and Tornado. I mean, the IQ of these guys has to be at least like 120, maybe even more. I mean, this team is just sensational with their way of controlling and manipulating the ball to benefit them. I mean, we've seen them earlier on this season against Fox Valley, a week 3 matchup that came down to Martin Luther chewing the clock and making sure Fox Valley couldn't score a goal in Game 5. The score was 3-2 with about 20-ish seconds left, and Fox Valley had the chance to try and keep the ball up, and just Mark Luther's awareness on the field propelled them to that win, and it was a big win. It's a big head-to-head in terms of where things stand in Division 2 playoff seeds. Saved by Virus. Virus going up in the air, full head of steam. Tagneg and Lupa combining for the stop. However, Martin Luther has taken over in this series. They have formulated their own plan to neutralize their opponent. And, you know, these games... Oh, we have a Rule 1, actually. I just realized that. Out the corner of my eye, I saw Lupa in a Rule 1. Got broken up by a demo, but Yama with the score. I almost didn't notice that Rule 1 nonetheless, though. Yamo puts it in for the Spartans. 3-0, 16 seconds to go. Tagneg the demo. And Martin Luther shuts out Whitefish Bay to win Game 3. The common theme is the team that, you know, gets rolling early is able to maintain their lead. At least I would say 80% of the time, and they're able to win. And it's really been the story of this series as well. I mean, Martin Luther's knocking on the doorstep of a 12-0 run here in Winter 2025. You know, barring their result against Sauk Prairie, which is not officially updated in league spot as of right now. And we'll see what Game 4 has in store for us. So this has been a pretty long stream and a dedicated stream to show my passion for this position as Wisconsin High School Esports Association commentator, and happy to be here, as always. Game 4 underway. Iris to Jornado to kick us off here. Tagneg not stopping on those demos, staying very consistent. Oh, wow. This catch in a car in the vicinity. I mean, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Tagneg going for demos. He is just everywhere. Go Milbrew. Nice save on the Yamos. Shot attempt. But passing over to Tagneg. They're trying to get something going. Oh my goodness, another near fall for Tagneg. I mean, this poor guy's been demoing everybody. Can the Rocket League gods just praise him with a couple goals at least? I mean, he's had multiple goals taken away from him because of that left post. Yamo taking advantage of the wide open nets. That's what happens when your initial plan doesn't work on the offensive side, and, you know, everybody's just overzealous. They, you know, pre-jump where the ball's going to be, and can't really have a plan when one member of Martin Luther is able to recuperate the ball and, you know, reposition themselves fast enough to make a play. That's exactly what Martin Luther's known for, trying to show us again. Go Milbrew, botching the touch on the ball. Takes himself and teammate Lupa out of the equation. Multiple demos on the field. This is a demolition derby out here. I feel like this is, you know, Wreckfest and not Rocket League at this point. I mean, my goodness. Another demo. That'd be at least 2 Baker dozens worth of demos. An exterminator! Oh my goodness, we finally got one on stream. Tagneg. Oh my god. An exterminator for Tagneg in game 4. This is the moments we live for, ladies and gentlemen. This is a great 3rd year anniversary. Oh wow. That just makes it all the more better. I'm sure the only one celebrating that because that rarely happens. And we also got a Rule 1 in the same series. I mean, dude. Just sensational. Martin Luther's still up 1 though. Tornado, the demo. Wouldn't be surprised if we see another exterminator. Tagneg 3 saves. I mean, he's just doing it all. Tagneg is performing like the Eagles defensive line against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I mean, this guy, look, he's just everywhere. He's on top of virus. This is just too good, man. All of this just to keep Martin Luther at bay from scoring and maybe opening a possible play for the Blue Dukes to get right back in this contest. Tagneg advancing the ball straight to go Milbrew. Redirect shot almost in, just above that crossbar. Now one. Oh, is that in? No, it's not. Oh, I thought it was. The demo smoke blinded my POV for a second. Less than a minute to go here. Martin Luther just wants to play this one patient. Tornado. Trying to put the icing on the cake here for this game. As the clock just ticks down. Oh, Tagneg almost causing an own goal. I mean, he's done pretty much everything, so it's the unique stat line for Tagneg. Unfortunately, no goals his way in this game. Could have had one. However, the goalpost wasn't too kind to him. And I mean, this was closer than a 3-1 series. I mean, Whitefish Bay definitely gave Martin Luther a run for their money. However, at the end of the day, Martin Luther comes out on top 3-1 in the series against Whitefish Bay and officially end our coverage for Division 2 for today's stream. Martin Luther goes to 12-0, making their second appearance on stream, and Whitefish Bay making back-to-back appearances on stream. 4 of them in total if you count the preseason match against Martin Luther, in which Martin Luther won 3-0. So Whitefish Bay massively improved against Martin Luther as opposed to the preseason. This Whitefish Bay team is a completely different team. I believe they're going to make a deep run in the playoffs for sure. As well as Martin Luther, of course, one of the top seeded teams in Division 2, a possible winner of the championship as well. But yep, that'll be all for today's coverage of Division 2. If you want to look at the live results for yourself, go to WIHSEA.leaguespot.gg for information regarding Division 1, Division 2, Division 3 Rocket League regular season standings. I believe Mike Dolly will be live with the playoff bracket reveal sometime within the next week. So stay tuned for that. And, you know, what a way to cap off a 3-year anniversary of working for WIHSEA. Again, you know, I showed the graphic. I'll show it one more time before I make my exit here. But yeah, I mean, you know, 100, you know, add 127 on there now. As the Martin Luther and Whitefish Bay cast was pretty much unprecedented, and I think it still did a pretty good job with, you know, improv on that. Knew most of the data about the team, so that definitely helps. But yeah, I want to just thank everybody in WIHSEA for allowing me to be your commentator for the past 3 years for Rocket League, Valorant, and Smash Bros. It's been an absolutely wild ride, and you know, I started this when I was 16. I'm 19 now, about to be 20 in a couple weeks. So it's just a surreal moment, and I just can't thank everybody enough, from the board members to the players to the coaches to everybody around the league. Thank you very much for making me feel welcomed here. And I will see you all back next week for playoff action. Should be very enticing, but for now,